Breathe in gently, settle your body, and let your mind soften as we enter the quiet world of philosophy, before we step into the depths of Søren Kierkegaard's ideas. A small reminder, if you enjoy calm, reflective explorations like this one, make sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video. It helps this space grow, and it ensures you won't miss any future meditative philosophy journeys. Now, ease into the sound of silence. Imagine the world dimming round you. Like a candle slowly lowering its flame, you are entering a place older than memory, the place where thought begins. Tonight, we walk with Kierkegaard. Kierkegaard was a thinker who turned away from crowds, not because he disliked people, but because he noticed something that disturbed him. When you stand in a crowd, it becomes difficult to hear your own voice. The opinions of others press against you. The noise of the many becomes a substitute for the stillness of the one. He believed that the deepest truths are not discovered in public squares or lecture halls. They are discovered in solitude, in the quiet moments when you're alone with yourself, with your choices, with the question of what you truly believe. He wrote under pseudonyms, creating characters who represented different ways of living. An aesthete who chased pleasure, an ethical judge who valued commitment, a knight of faith who leaped into the unknown. But beneath all these masks was a single, persistent question. How do I live a life that is truly mine? Not a life borrowed from parents, culture, or convenience, but a life you have chosen, with passion, with fear, with trembling, and with love. As you breathe slowly, let yourself sink into this question without pressure. You do not need to answer it tonight. You only need to let it rest in your awareness. Like a seed waiting for the right season, Kierkegaard understood anxiety better than most. He did not see it as a weakness or a disorder to be eliminated. He saw it as a sign that you are awake, that you are facing the freedom and uncertainty that come with being human. He called anxiety the dizziness of freedom. Imagine standing at the edge of a cliff. You are not afraid of falling. You are afraid of the freedom within you, the terrifying knowledge that you could jump, that you are capable of choices you cannot undo, that your life is shaped by decisions that no one else can make for you. This dizziness is not a sickness. It is the condition of being free. Most people try to escape this feeling. They lose themselves in distractions, routines, the comfortable voice of the crowd. But Kierkegaard suggests something different. Stay with the anxiety. Let it teach you. When you feel that subtle tremor beneath your choices, it means you are paying attention. You are not sleepwalking through life. You are awake enough to feel the weight of your own existence. Breathe deeply and let the thought settle. Anxiety is not your enemy. It is the shadow cast by your freedom, and freedom, however unsettling, is the ground upon which an authentic life is built. Kierkegaard mapped the journey of a human life through 3 stages, not rigid steps that everyone must follow, but patterns he noticed in how people live. The first is the aesthetic stage. This is the life of pleasure, sensation, and novelty. The aesthete seeks beauty, excitement, the next experience that will make them feel alive. But there is a hunger beneath this pursuit, a restlessness that can never be fully satisfied. Every pleasure fades, every new thing becomes familiar, and beneath the surface, a quiet despair begins to grow. The second is the ethical stage. Here, a person commits to something beyond themselves. They make promises. They accept responsibility. They choose a path and walk it with integrity, even when it is not exciting. This stage brings stability, but it also carries its own weight. Duty can become rigid, commitment can become burden, and then there is the third, the religious stage. This is not about church or doctrine. It is about a relationship with something infinite. A commitment so deep that it cannot be fully explained or justified to anyone else. Kierkegaard called this the leap of faith, a decision made not because the evidence is certain, but because the heart has chosen to trust. As you rest here, you do not need to identify which stage you are in. Simply notice that life offers different ways of being, and the path you walk is yours alone. Kierkegaard tells the story of Abraham, a man asked to do something that makes no sense. He is told to sacrifice his son. The same son he was promised would carry his legacy. The same son he loves more than anything. Abraham does not understand. He cannot explain. He simply trusts. And in the moment when the knife is raised, something shifts. The command is withdrawn, and Abraham receives his son back, not as a possession, but as a gift. Kierkegaard calls Abraham a knight of faith, not someone who has all the answers, not someone who never doubts, but someone who, in the face of the absurd, chooses to trust anyway. He contrasts this with the tragic hero, someone who sacrifices for a greater cause and is understood by everyone. The knight of faith, however, cannot be understood. Their choice looks foolish to the world, but it is made in relationship with something infinite. Let this image rest lightly in your mind. There may be decisions in your life that no one else can validate. Choices that come from a place deeper than reason. Kierkegaard does not ask you to make those choices lightly, but he reminds you that the most important decisions are often the ones you make alone, in silence, with nothing but trust to carry you. Kierkegaard believed that despair is not a rare condition. It is woven into the human condition. He described it as a kind of misdirection, a failure to become the self you are meant to be. There are many forms of despair. There is the despair of not knowing you have a self, drifting through life, never questioning, never choosing, never becoming. There is the despair of not wanting to be yourself, wishing you were someone else, with different circumstances, different gifts, a different life. And there is the deepest despair, wanting to be yourself, but without the infinite, trying to build an identity from your own strength alone, without surrendering to anything greater. But here is the quiet hope in Kierkegaard's vision. Despair is not a dead end. It is a signal. When you feel that something is wrong, when restlessness stirs beneath the surface of your days, it means you are waking up. You are recognizing that the life you are living is not yet the life you are meant to live. Breathe slowly. Let this thought move through you gently. Despair is not failure. It is the beginning of becoming. Kierkegaard noticed something curious about how people live. They spend their time either lost in memories of the past or planning for a future that has not yet arrived. The past is gone. The future is uncertain. And in the gap between them, the present moment slips away unnoticed. He called this the unhappiness of never being present. To live authentically, he suggested, is to inhabit this moment fully, not as an escape from past and future, but as a meeting place where eternity touches time. You are not your past. Your past is something that has happened to you, but it does not define you. You are not your future. Your future is not yet written, and worrying about it cannot bring it closer. You are here. Now. Breathing, resting, listening. And in this moment, there is a depth that the past cannot reach and the future cannot disturb. Let the weight of yesterday slip away. Let the anxiety of tomorrow dissolve. You do not need to solve anything tonight. You only need to be here, fully, quietly, completely. Kierkegaard believed that a life without passion is a life half-lived. He did not mean loud emotion or dramatic displays. He meant a deep, quiet commitment to something that matters, something that gives your life direction and meaning. This passion is not something you manufacture. It is something you discover, often in solitude, often slowly, as you attend to what calls to you from the depths of your being. What do you truly love? Not what you should love. Not what looks good on a resume. Not what impresses others. What do you love when no one is watching? This question is not meant to pressure you. It is meant to awaken you, gently, to the possibility that your life has a center, a gravity, something round which your days can meaningfully orbit. Kierkegaard believed that when you find that center, everything else begins to fall into place. Not easily, not without struggle, but with coherence. Kierkegaard's most famous image is the leap. Not a leap into the dark, but a leap toward the infinite. A decision made not because all the evidence is in, but because waiting for a certainty has become a form of cowardice. There are moments in life when you cannot wait any longer. A commitment must be made, a path must be chosen. A truth must be lived, not just thought about. Kierkegaard believed that the most important decisions in life are not made by calculation. They are made by passion, not by trust. By the willingness to risk being wrong for the sake of being fully alive. This is not recklessness. It is courage, the courage to choose when certainty is impossible. The courage to commit when doubt remains. The courage to become who you are, even when the path is not fully illuminated. As you rest here, let the image of the leap settle softly in your mind. You do not need to leap tonight, but you can let the possibility rest within you, that one day, when the moment comes, you will have the courage to choose, before you drift fully into rest. A gentle reminder: if you enjoyed this exploration of Kierkegaard's wisdom and wish to experience more calming, thought-provoking content, please subscribe to our channel and like this video. Your support allows us to continue sharing these reflective journeys with you. Now, let the quiet wisdom of Kierkegaard carry you into sleep, the freedom that stands at the edge of every choice, the anxiety that teaches you that you are awake, the stages of your own becoming, not linear, not perfect, but yours, the despair that signals something deeper is calling, and the leap, not yet, perhaps, but someday, toward the life you are meant to live. Breathe in, and let go. Breathe in, and let go. You are here. You are becoming, and in the quiet of this night, that is enough. Sleep well.